Okay boys, we're gonna go ahead and start this brake job today. Got the wheel off. You guys can see there's some pretty bad grooves in this, and there's a pretty thick lip. The brake pads look to me to not be super thin. They look like they've probably been changed in the past. But these rotors they're bad. So basically on a four-wheel drive truck, you got to take the whole hub off. So while I'm in here, I'm going to repack this wheel bearing. I was going to get a new one, but I don't have one. So yeah, we're going to get this hub assembly off and try to get this one done tonight. But if I don't have to get it done today. Just need to get it done by tomorrow night. So I've showed you guys how to do, well, I don't know how much I showed you guys of it last time whenever we did the wheel bearing on the other side, but to start off, you gotta take these torque studs out, and then this little silver thing pops off, and then after that you're taking all the hub assembly out, and then you'll get to your wheel bearing. You'll take your wheel bearing out, and then I think after that this whole little thing should pop out. I believe so anyway. So we shall see, boys. All right, I'll be back. Okay, so real quick guys, whenever you take your front rotors off, there's a hub, and a way to get this hub out of the old rotor is just take a hammer and hit the lugs out. They may take a little persuasion, but they will come out, and then your two-piece hub will come out. Once you do that, you get your new rotor. Make sure it's whatever rotor you're trying, whatever side you're putting on, and you'll mate them up. You'll put your lugs in one at a time. Get something to put on them like this, and then just give them a couple of taps with a hammer and get them to seat a little bit. You're not going to be able to seat them all the way, but the next step that we're going to do is what's going to seat them all the way. So I'll show you how to do it with this last one. These last couple have really just been falling in, so they haven't really been staying in place. But basically I can't really show you guys, but what you're going to do is you're going to put something up there. I'm using this ratchet, and then you're just going to tap the top of the ratchet to get it sunk in, and then we'll go to the next step. So I'll be right back. All right, boys. So I went ahead and did it just because I need to get it done. But whenever you go back to put the hub on, so like I was showing you, you'll slip the hub in, you'll put the studs in, you'll knock them in to where they're not going to fall out. You're going to then turn it over, make sure that this is all even, there's no gaps anywhere. You want it all even. And then after that, you're going to put your lug nuts on. And you're going to tighten them all down. It really is going to help if you have a big 1/4-inch impact. If you don't, then I guess you could possibly use a torque bar, but that's going to be pretty hard. You could possibly use a torque bar, but it's going to be pretty hard. So just use a big impact, and then just tighten them down. Kind of do it whenever you're putting a wheel on, and whenever you're putting the lug nuts on, if you do this one, then you'll do the top one that matches it. And then you'll come back down here, do the top one, then you'll come back over here, do this one, then you'll come back over here and do this one. Tighten these the same way, just so you're getting an even suction. And just tighten them down until they're not going to tighten anymore. Obviously don't try to break the studs, but you want these sucked down, because if you don't get them tight enough and this happens to fall apart while you're going down the road, it's going to be really bad news. So just make sure you get them as tight as you possibly can. I don't know if there's a torque spec or not. I doubt it, because I'm pretty sure that you're kind of supposed to you're supposed to tap these in with an air hammer or something. I'm not real sure, but just make sure there's no space between the hub and the rotor, and just make sure, they're tightened down. And then after this, once this is done, you basically just throw your brakes back together. Once you get done though, your rotor is going to be really gross. So get some brake clean, spray the brake clean on this and clean the rotors off, because you don't want a bunch of garbage and stuff on your rotors. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just throw this all back together, and I probably won't finish the other side until tomorrow. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and throw everything back together, so we'll be back. So it's the next day. Last night we finished up this driver's side brakes and everything, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. The wheel's back on, but you can see the slotted rotor right through it. So it looks so good in there. We're now doing the passenger side, and I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown. I've already pretty much got almost everything done. Getting everything off anyway. So you're gonna have to take your hub assembly out, and whenever you get to the wheel bearing, the outer wheel bearing, leave that in there with the preload nut on it so that this won't come off, because if you don't do that and you go to take your caliper off, because you're gonna have to probably put a breaker bar in there against the knuckle and try to compress that out a little bit, especially if you have a lip like I do on my rotor. You're gonna have to compress the caliper a little bit before you can slide it out, and you just don't want this thing falling off on you while you're trying to get all this stuff off. So just leave that outer wheel bearing on with the nut. And then whenever you're taking that stuff out, just line it up how you took it out, so whenever you go work, you just go backwards. So yeah, at this point, guys, I just had to take the caliper bracket off, and then we can slide this old rotor out. We can bust these, we can bust the studs out, and then mate that with the new rotor. So whenever we get to that point, I'll come back and show you guys what we're doing there. So be back. Okay, guys, so once you get the hub out, you got to, unless you get a new hub with your rotors, you're going to have to get these out of your hub and rotor so you can separate this and put the hub in the new rotor. So what you're basically going to want to do, you can use something to put over it so you don't like try not to mess the threads up, but you're just going to hit these. I go once whenever I first get it out. I go once all the way around. I give them all a couple of blows, and then after that you can just start banging on them, and you'll see them start to separate down here. So you'll see this crack start to get bigger, and that's how you know they're coming out. So I'm gonna put this up and you guys can watch me. You just got to get these out, and then after that we got to get the hub separated from the rotor and put it in the new one. So I'll set you guys up. Okay, that's how you do that, guys. But there's grease on it, so we'll leave it like it is, because I don't know how really to get that rubber seal out to get the wheel bearing out and not hurt anything. So we're just gonna leave it as is. Now, yes, if you have grease on your hands or whatever else, you're gonna get grease all over this rotor. Just have brake clean on standby. Whenever you get all this stuff done, you get over there before you put it on, clean the back side of the rotor off, and once you get it all put on, then you can spray brake clean on the front side and wipe that. It might take a couple times, might take some finessing to get all of them started, but you'll get them, man. right, so now guys, you're gonna want to tap the hub down to where it's flat against the rotor. You don't want to suck these, you don't want to suck the studs on with this being uneven. You want to get it flat. So that's what we're gonna do now. And some of your studs are probably gonna fall through. Like this one's probably gonna fall through on me, but it's all good. You'll just turn it back over once you get done with this and tap them back in. Okay, and just like whenever you put a wheel on, you're gonna want to go in a star pattern whenever you're sucking these down, so that you get an even, you know, an even pull on it, basically. Guys, so that's how you get it done. We've got the new hub mounted to the rotor, so I gotta hurry up because it's about to start raining, and yeah, I gotta get this put back on and try to get this done. So I'll be back with you guys whenever I get done. All right, boys, we got everything done. I'm just gonna roll it around right here, make sure the brakes are working. And yeah, that's pretty much a brake job, guys. If you know how to take the hub apart, that's really the biggest part. The brakes are real simple. I mean, you just take the caliper off, take the caliper holder off so you can get the rotor off. But once all that's done, you just put the caliper back on. The caliper holder back on. You slip your clips onto the holder, and then you slip your pads in, and you're gonna have to have the tool that compresses the caliper, the actual thing that pushes your brakes in. You have to have a tool to push those in so you can get it slipped back over the new brakes. But that's really the biggest part, guys. It's really easy. While you're in there, you're gonna want to do wheel bearings. I didn't because I didn't have a new one to put on. But that's basically it, guys. It's done. And yeah, so that's gonna be the end of this video. This is probably gonna be a real short video, but yeah, guys, it's really not hard. But if you have the extra money, it makes it easier if you just buy brakes that come with the rotors with the new hub and studs already installed. That'll make it easier for you. But if you don't want to do that, it's really not hard to switch everything over to a new rotor. It takes like 15 minutes to do each one. So that's basically it, guys. Big upgrade finally done for the truck because it needed brakes. But yeah, that's it, guys. I'm gonna get off here. We gotta go do some stuff today, and the next video I'm assuming is gonna probably be the in-tank screens, and then eventually we got to do the new transmission fluid. That's really important that we do that. So yeah, next couple videos, I don't know when those will be coming out. It's not going to be a couple weeks because next weekend me and my wife are finally getting to go on a honeymoon. We're going to go to Vegas this weekend. Well, we're gonna go there Saturday or Sunday, this coming Saturday or Sunday, and stay there until like Thursday. Yeah, we're gonna stay there for like 3 or 4 days, and then we'll be back. So next videos probably won't be out for another couple weeks. So anyway, guys, that's it. We will see you later.